Good morning, everyone. Again, I am looking at three simple topics in mathematics here. We have mean, mode, and median. Mean, mode, and median are basically three ways of what we call analyzing, or when you are given a list of numbers, looking at those numbers and see what are some common things that you can figure out in those numbers. They are very simple topics. I just need you to follow carefully as to what I am saying. So sometimes you are given a list of numbers in mathematics and you are asked to calculate the mode. Mode is very simple. It is the most common number in the list of numbers that are given to you. Most common number. I will show you here. You have a list of numbers. You have 4, 6, 10, 6, 3, 2, 2, 6, 7, 6. The modal number there, very simple. What is the most common number that you see? Not what is the largest number. The largest number is 10. The smallest number is 2. The number that pops up the most, the number that is the most common number, is the number 6. And that's basically what mode is. The most common number in a list. Look at the example again. You have here a list of numbers, and in those numbers, you have tests. So it's 95% in maths, 80% in grammar, comprehension 95, spelling is 90, social studies is 75, and science is 76. Your most common mark is the number 95%. It is the number that comes up the most. Now, if you were reading, and you will be given these notes as we go along, you will see highest bar in a bar chart. There is no need to worry about that just yet. We will come back to it. But yes, mode is the highest bar if you are looking at a bar chart. Now, before I move forward from what is mode and explaining that, and as I said, it is the most common number. Where does this really apply in real life? It applies basically, for example, a teacher is sharing ice cream and 5 children take the chocolate and 3 children take vanilla and 4 children take strawberry. Then the teacher will know the next time that they are buying, they will have to buy more chocolate because a lot of children like the chocolate. It's just basically that. It is being able to analyze or looking at a group of children and seeing what is most popular, right? You want to do sports and you know that children are enjoying basketballs, football, cricket, and then when you group them, while grouping them, you see that children fall into liking basketball, cricket, and they love football the most. Therefore, football will be the thing that you spend a lot more time on. It will be the thing that probably needs the most amount of money because most amount of children play that particular sport, and that's basically what mode is all about. In the same way, now we move to calculating median. Now, as I said, these documents you'll be given, so if you miss anything in reading, it's okay. You will see the reading as we go along. Calculate median. Median. The word median, I want you to remember when mommy and daddy are driving along the streets, there is always these large concrete slabs that are in the center of the highways. A lot of places they're also orange. That is called a median. A median because it is in the middle of the two streets. It blocks off two streets. It's a median. Now, the median is the middle number. So if I give you this list, look at the list properly. 4, 7, 5, 4, 10, 8, 2, 12, 1, 20. Mode is 4. Mode is 4 because that's the most common. Largest number is 10. Largest number is 20. We don't want to find that. We want to find the middle number, the one that is in the middle. You cannot look at it as it is and figure out what is the middle. In order to find middle, you have to line up in order. You could either line up in ascending or descending order. So, if I line it up, look at how it ends up. it looks like this: 1, 4, 4, 5, 7, 8, 10, 12, 20. And in this case, if I cross out these 4 and I cross out these 4, then basically the middle number is 7. The middle number is 7. It is also important to note that in this case, you will realize that those are 9 numbers there. So it's easy to find a middle number when there are 9 numbers. But if the numbers are even, meaning if I have like 8 numbers, 6 numbers, 20 numbers, that's an even amount. Look at what happens. So you will see here, look at this amount. You have 8, 7, 5, and 4. So if I line up this, if I line this up, these up in order, you will have, let's go with descending order, 8, 7, 5, 4. If I cross out this 8 and I cross out this 4, this is the middle numbers, 7 and 5. You can't find a middle number like that. The middle number has to be one number. So what do? Basically, add the numbers together. So if I add 7 and 5, I am going to get 12. And therefore, after I get 12, that's not the middle number. The middle number between 4 and 8 could never be 12. The middle number divided by 2 is 6. It's very important to note that the middle number between 4 and 8 is 6. So the middle number you add, if it is 2 numbers, divide by 2. It's always add and it's always divide by 2. It doesn't matter if the numbers look like this. Doesn't matter if it's milliliters, centimeters, it does not matter. Look at what I did. Line up. I did ascending, I did descending, it doesn't matter. 60, 75, 85, 90, 92, 100. You notice I cross out. When I'm finished crossing out, I end up with 2 numbers. When I add those 2 numbers, I get 175. And this is where children need to remember things from before. 175 divided by 2 will give you a remainder. But that is not going to be done. What you need to remember is how I taught you to divide as a fraction. What do I have here? I have an improper fraction. And that is division. 2 into 17 is 8. 2 into 5 is 2 into 17, sorry about that. 2 into 17 is 8. Remainder 1, because 8 2s are 16. 2 into 15 is 7. Remainder 1 over 2. 87.5 will be your middle number. And before we dive right into mean, I want you to think about what mean is. Now, a lot of teachers are just going to tell you, here's what to do. Add up the numbers and divide. Don't want to teach you like that. I want you to understand what it means to find the average. How do we find average? Why do we find average? Okay, so we watch football, and while watching football, we know Messi plays. Messi is playing football, and for the last 3 times you watch Messi play, Messi scored 3 goals, 2 goals, and 4 goals. Therefore, you are going to watch him another time, and when you watch him that next time, if he doesn't score any goal, you're going to be surprised, because this man is scoring 3 goals, 2 goals, 4 goals. More than likely, the next time you see Messi play, Messi is going to score another 2 goal or 3 goal. It is highly unlikely he is not going to score 2 or 3 goals based on the information that is given. Look at another one with sports. You have Brian Lara. Brian Lara playing cricket, and while he's playing cricket, the first time he bats, he gets 60. The next time you see Brian Lara bat, he makes 100. The next time you see Brian Lara bat, he makes 75. Therefore, it is most likely that the next time you see Brian Lara bat for the 4th time, he has to make something more than 50. You will be surprised if he comes and gets 0. You will be surprised if he comes and gets 20. You are going to expect him, because of these marks, look how high they are, you're going to expect him to make 50. Now I know what you're thinking. What if Messi doesn't score any goal? That could happen. It could. What if Brian Lara gets 0? That could happen. It is possible. That's why it's called an average. It's called an average because it is just to show a possible outcome. Look at it in our situations, most likely, well, exams and tests. In the last 5 tests, I know I give spelling every week, right? And every time I give a spelling test, you get 19, you get 17, you get 20, you get 18, you get 20. Now, you could be sick one day and get 5. You could not learn your work and get 0. That could happen, yes. But I, as a teacher, if I know these are your marks, 19, 17, 20, 18, 20, then I am going to say, well, I am going to expect the next time you're going to get 15. So, or more, 15 or more is going to be a high number. So, what is average? Look at how it is found. Mary has 4 examination papers here, 75, 50, 80, 190. All you need to do is add up the numbers to find average, that is, add up the numbers, which will give you 395, and divide by 5. Her average is 79. Do you notice that 79 is close to these numbers here? That's why it's called average. Look again. Every day you're saving money. The first day you save $12, the next day you save $15, the next day you save $10, then you come and save a $5, then you come and save an $8. So when you are saving money every day, the average amount you are saving every single day will be add up the money, divide by 5. $10. You notice that 10 is close around all of those numbers. Average, add them up and divide by the amount. Now I am dividing by 5 in the 2 examples because 5 is easy to divide by. It could be divided by 5, it could be divided by 10. It depends on the amount of numbers. And what about the opposite? The opposite of finding average is finding someone's total. So if I tell you my average is 10, then my total will be 10 by 5 numbers, 50. If I tell you my average is 79, then my total will be 79 by 5, which is 395. That's basic. Total does not mean add in mean. Total means multiply to find out my total. So Mark looked at his scores and he has a mean score of 60%. His total will be to take his mean, 60, and multiply it by the number of tests he did. He did 3 tests. 60 by 3, 180. Look again. Mel has an average of $50 in 5 jars. We know she has 5 jars. We know the average in the 5 jars is 50. It doesn't mean 50, 50, 50, 50. It means she could have a 20 here, 100 in another one, 75 in another one. It could be totally different numbers. We do not know, right? But to find out the total, look what I did. 50 by 5, which is 225. What I want to make a note of is this is normal add, subtract, multiply, and divide. Mode and median are very simple, but I need children to remember calculations are important. If you get a mixed number, change it to an improper fraction. If you are given a remainder, make it a fraction. So for example, 17 divided by 2, if I just write that 17 divided by 2, will give you 2 into 17, 8 2s are 16. We learned it as 8 2s are 16. Remainder is 1, right? That's not what you do. No. The remainder will be 1 over 2. Change it to a mixed number. So it will be 8.5, right? Look at that again. If I give you 12, and I tell you to divide 12 by 5, then 5 into 12 is 2. 2. Remainder will be 2 over 5. 2 and 2/5. So the basic Add, subtract, multiply, divide are important.